I believe that love at first sight is real. An actual feeling you get when you first lay eyes on that one special person. More special than anybody you've ever met. This person is who your heart just immediately falls.
Jaira? Jaira, wake up!
Jaira, wake up! My friend tripped and lost her consciousness.
Friend? Well, I guess I'm just a friend.
Jaira? Jaira, can you hear me? You are in the hospital. You had an accident. It's okay, Jaira. Don't move. You have a broken ankle. You will be out of here in no time. Doctor? Sir, please, let Jaira rest.
Dr. Mauer, dial 216. Dr. Mauer, dial 216.
Doctor, what's going to happen? Sir. Oh, okay. Sir, based on your daughter's x-ray, she has a broken bone in her ankle. And she may need to stay here for a while in the hospital for more checkups and monitoring.
Is she going to be okay?
Yes, sir. Since her ankle bones are stable, you will not undergo surgical operations. Instead, we just need to get a physical therapist to help your child.
Here, I'll help you, ma'am. You have a swollen foot right now, and it might get painful when you move. Do you want to eat some dinner? You also need to take some medications, okay? Okay, ma'am, you need to rest now. Please tell me if you are feeling any pain or discomfort, okay?
Sir,
Jaira, I would like you to meet your new PT.
ma'am, ayong buntag, ma'am. Ipaila ko ako ngalan sa imo, ma'am, ha? Ako si Miss Pa, ma'am. Ako ang imo PT.
I don't understand.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm not good in speaking English.
I feel a discomfort in my butt area.
Okay, ma'am. I will transfer you in a bed position. I will transfer your bed position, ma'am, ha? Okay, ma'am. I will fold your left leg, ma'am. Now raise a little bit your right leg, ma'am. And then your elbow, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Mag-ingon ka na ako, ma'am, ha? Kung dili juga komportable, ma'am. Okay, ma'am? Lang, ma'am, ha, anay. Mulat, ma'am, ha? Sige na, ma'am. Isip na ta, ma'am, ha? Usa, duha, tulo.
Dad! Dad! Can you change my PT?
Ma'am, we already changed your PDs. I'll just get myself back to the ward.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Vanessa, and this is she's Aline, ma'am, and we are your PT for today, and we are here to help you for a fast recovery. Do you need anything, ma'am?
I wanted to go to the CR.
Okay, ma'am. Aline will put you into a sitting position. Where?
Band your position.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, go.
Ma'am, what happened? You look like in pain.
I want to change my PT.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm your physical therapist for today. My name is Bon Martin. So, according to your records, your name is Jaira Neri. Okay, so, before we proceed to our treatment program, ma'am, so do you feel any discomfort?
I feel a little discomfort in your back.
So, can you move alone, ma'am, or do you need any assistance?
Little assistance.
I will change your position, ma'am, in order for you to be more comfortable. Okay, so I will move you downward a little. So, first, ma'am, I will bend your knees. So, can you help me, ma'am, or push your arms downward? And also, ma'am, please ensure that your right leg will not touch the bed. Okay? So, at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, ma'am. So, do you feel comfortable, ma'am? So, before we proceed to our treatment proper, I will get your vital signs. Is it okay for you, ma'am?
I want to go to the conference room.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so before we go to the conference room, I will call another PT for assistance. Is that okay for you, ma'am?
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Derek. They'll be assisting you transfer to the conference room. Now, what I would like you to do now is I would like you to set up upright for me, please. And I would like you to also lock your hands as tightly as possible. Now, one, I would like you to please hold your bottom or your legs, please. Now, to count to 3, we're going to lift her up and put her onto the wheelchair. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, ma'am, I will take it from here.
Good morning, Miss Jaira. Once again, I'm here for your treatment proper. So before that, I'll get your vital signs, okay? So, okay ma'am, we'll proceed to the treatment now. So, your vital signs are all normal. So, ma'am, I will gently raise your right leg. Is it okay to ma'am? Rotation.
Ma'am, sir, your daughter is ready to be taken home. My PT will just come to your house for the home treatment.
Thank you so much, doctor.
Thank you so much. Welcome. Take care. Goodbye.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Jaira. I'm here today to assess Bon in his treatment with you today.
So, good morning, ma'am. So, before we proceed to our treatment proper, so let us get your vital signs. So, first, let's get your temperature. Okay, so there. So, ma'am, are you okay that we'll put in your armpit? So, in the same time, we'll get your pulse rate, ma'am. Okay. So, okay ma'am, so your vital signs are all normal, within normal ranges. So, let's proceed to the treatment proper, ma'am. Okay, so Derek will help me in your ROM motions.
Now, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform range of motion exercises on you. Now we're going to move your leg.
Bon.
Thank you for helping my daughter.
No problem, sir. It is our duty to make our patients regain their body functions. Also, we stand as hope for those patients that are hopeless for these specific situations.
I am pleased to hear that you really love the profession. Can I ask you some favor?
Yes, ma'am?
Since not all the time you are here, I noticed that my daughter feels uncomfortable staying in one position for a very long time.
Okay.
Can you teach us some ways to lessen her discomfort?
Okay, ma'am. So, Jaira got injured, so we can deny the fact that she needs assistance. So, I can teach you at least 15 transfers. Okay? Before I discuss the transfers, first, ma'am and sir, I will explain to you what it is. So, transfers are safe movements of a person from one surface to another. Let me emphasize the word safe. Transfers may be independent, dependent, assisted, and supervised, but I will focus on dependent and assisted transfers. These are the types of transfers. First, supine to prone. Second, prone to supine. Third, dependent supine to sitting dangling. Fourth, two-person carry from bed to wheelchair. Fifth, two-person carry from wheelchair to bed. Sixth, three-person carry. Seventh, assisted standing pilot from wheelchair to bed using a footstool. Eighth, dependent supine moving upward. 9.
assisted supine moving upward. 10. Supine moving upward using a drawstring. 11. Dependent supine moving downward. 12. Assisted supine moving downward. 13. Dependent supine to side lying. 14. Dependent standing pivot. And 15. Lag rolling. I will teach you more on the assisted since Jaira's condition is not that bad to use dependent transfers. So before we proceed, I will remind the following. In doing transfers, it is necessary to do: first, check the condition of the patient. Second, plan the transfer in the shortest distance. Third, move on the strong side and on the weak side. Fourth, use equipments for better transfers. Fifth, ensure the patient is dressed. 6. Ensure proper hygiene. 7. Introduce yourself to the patient, and this is a must. 8. Explain the transfer to the patient for their knowledge. Explain her role and ensure communication with them. 9. Ask the patient for consent and for feedback. During transfers, first, lock all possible things that might slip or move during transfers, especially the wheels. Second, be alert for all attachments such as intravenous lines. Third, use a safety belt to the pelvis in transfers. Do not use the cloth for gripping. Fourth, remain close and guarded in the transfers. Fifth, use proper body mechanics. Lift with legs and avoid twisting. Avoid forward bending of your trunk, especially during lifting. Position your body close to the patient's body. And lastly, increase your base of support. 6. Never fail to instruct your patient before, during, and after the transfer. A little praise and compliment will do. So, what I'm going to teach to you now is what I have learned from my clinical instructor.
Supine to prone. First, you need to introduce yourself to the patient. You need to explain the procedure so that he or she will understand it. If there is a pillow, you must get it since it will be a hindrance in the bed mobility transfer. Move the patient to the far side of the bed. Use segmental transfer if the patient cannot move. Otherwise, direct or assist the patient. Move the patient's leg that is farther from you over to the other. Set the patient's hand that is farthest from you to his side and tuck the other hand under the pelvis. Place the head towards the direction of the transfer. Turn the patient towards you onto her side. If the patient has spinal cord injuries, wait for some time for the patient to adjust. Next, continue turning the patient to complete the roll. Always ask the patient about their condition. Finally, position the patient at the center of the bed. Prone to supine. Get the pillow as instructed a while ago. If it is an assisted transfer, ask the patient to move to the other side of the bed. Cross the patient's leg that is farther from the PT on top of the other leg. Tuck the patient's arm that is nearest to the PT under the patient's hip. Stand on the far side of the bed, then roll the patient towards you in a sideline position. Make sure there is enough space for the patient to finish the transfer. Continue to transfer the patient if there is enough space from sideline to supine by assisting at the posterior shoulder and pelvis. Then return the patient to the center of the bed. Always ask for their opinion. Dependent supine to sitting dangling. Introduce yourself to the patient. Then get the pillow if there is any. Since pillow is considered as one of the obstacles in bed mobility transfers, it is a must to be get ridden out. Then move the patient segmentally to the closed end of the bed. Then prepare to roll the patient into a sideline position. One, two, three. Count with hair. Then you roll together. Even if your patient is unresponsive because of the dependency, a need to communicate with the patient is still a must to assure her safety. After you lower the feet and the lower extremities off the edge of the bed, elevate the trunk by lifting under the shoulders, at the same time applying downward pressure on the opposite hip. After this, use a tripod position to stabilize your patient's position in the bed. Two-person transfer, bed to wheelchair. Introduce yourself and your partner to the patient and tell her about the procedure. Prepare your wheelchair close to the bed and make sure that it is placed at the right angle to the bed. Ensure that the brakes are locked and the leg rest must be removed. The first clinician must stand behind the patient and ask the patient to cross his arms over his or her chest. Talk with her and instruct her of what to do. Every step must be clear so that there will be no misinterpretations. Place your arms under the patient's upper arm and grasp his or her forearm and not the wrist. Instruct the second clinician to place both hands under the patient's thighs and calves. The first clinician must initiate and lead the lift in a pre-arranged count. Both clinicians must use their leg and arm muscles while bending their back as little as possible. Securely position the patient in the wheelchair. Never transfer a patient with a patient just wearing socks or barefoot, so make them wear shoes or any accessories that will protect their feet while on the ground. Always ask for their comfort. If everything is set, then you're good to go. Assisted standing pivot wheelchair to bed. First off, you must stabilize the wheelchair by locking the brakes. Then remove the feet from the footstool. You should also move the patient at the edge of the wheelchair and put the gate belt if there is any available. If there is no gate belt, you must find a piece of cloth long and strong enough so that it will be used as a grip in carrying the patient. The gate belt should not be too loose or too tight, and using a footstool, you will raise the patient from the wheelchair going to the bed. Instruct the patient to put her arms on your shoulders as you carry her towards the bed, and in a pre-indicated time, you will raise together. Ask her to use her force to pull herself off the bed. Using the footstool, count together. Communication is the key to use this successfully. And after positioning, you must ensure the safety of the patient. Remove the gate belt, and you can tell her some compliments that will make her boost her mood. Assisted supine moving down. You must first introduce yourself to your patient and ask them if they can move on their
but
own.
it's better if you assist me.
If there is any pillow, you must remove all obstacles present. You can ask them if they can partially flex their hips or knees with feet flat on the bed. You can also ask them if they can use their hands as you assist them in pulling themselves down on the bed. You must communicate with them clearly. You can also arrange them back so that they can be comfortable. Also, if you move them to the edge of the bed, you must return them to their original place. You can also put pillows so that they can be comfortable. Assisted supine moving upward. Introduce yourself and the procedure to be used to the patient. Ask them if they can move by themselves or not. You can also make them assist you in the transfer. You can also instruct them if they can fully flex their hips or knees with feet flat on the bed. Also, ask them if they can elevate their hips on the action. After assisting them in transfers, make sure that you are able to make them comfortable in any ways possible.
Depending standing pivot. Prepare the wheelchair close to the object where the patient will be lowered. Secure the wheelchair, make sure that all the brakes are locked and the leg rests must be removed. Scoot the patient forward near the edge of the wheelchair. Place the gait belt on the patient's pelvic area and see if it's correctly or not too tight or too loose. Position yourself in the front of the patient while grasping the gait belt and also secure the patient's knee. Ask the patient to place his or her arms on your shoulder. Tell the patient that you're going to lift her up to a standing position at pre-arranged count. 1, 2, 3, lift. Next, before turning the patient, pause for a little while, then proceed turning the patient with the same manner. And lastly, the patient is already seated, so see that her back is aligned with the object. Remove the gait belt and make sure that the patient is not feeling any discomfort.
Wheelchair to bed. The wheelchair must be positioned as close as possible to the bed and should be adjacent to the bed at a slight angle. Make sure that the wheelchair brakes are locked before transferring. The armrest closest to the bed should be removed if possible. The leg rest should be also closed or removed. The patient crosses arms over his or her chest. Place your arms under the patient's upper arms and grasp his or her forearm and not the wrist. Instruct the second clinical assistant to place both hands under the patient's thighs and calves. The clinician must initiate and lead the lift at a pre-assigned time. Both clinicians must use their leg and arm muscles, bending their back as little as possible. Securely position the patient on the bed.
Moving with the draw sheet. First, you have to put the draw sheet under her body by positioning her into side lying. To achieve side lying, first, you have to move the patient close to your partner, then her upper lower extremity over his or her lowermost lower extremity and place upper extremity on chest and lowermost upper extremity in abduction. After that, roll the patient towards you by pulling gently on the posterior scapula and posterior pelvis. Next, this must repeat by the other partner so that the draw sheet is equally in the bed. Next, you have to put the patient arm on her chest, then her feet is just the same when you're side lying her. Next, both of the physical therapy should count to 3, then inform the patient that you have to let her move upward. So, in a count of 3, you have to lift her up by grasping the draw sheet beside her. When you already move her upward, make sure that you put her at the center of the bed. And lastly, remove the draw sheet out of her by using again the side lying position.
Dependent supine moving downward. First of all, instruct the patient on what you will do after introducing your name. Then remove all obstacles present while ensuring the comfortability of your patient. Next, without using a draw sheet, you can just move your patient by first segmentally transferring her to the edge of the bed. Then make your patients partially flex your hips or knees with feet flat on back. The upper extremity should be crossed around her chest. Then cradle the upper and lower extremities of your patient. Then instruct her that you will move on a count of 3. Then you turn the patient on her original position and asking her how she felt.
Ma'am, you did very well.
Dependent supine moving upward. Introduce yourself along with the procedure to be used. If there is an obstacle, you must get that obstacle. If you can move the patient towards you, then that's better. But if the bed is small, you can just proceed with that positioning. Cross your patient's arms on the chest. Flex the patient's hip or knees and place the feet flat on the bed. Then support your patient and slightly lift the patient on a count of 3. Then you must reposition the patient. If the patient is on the edge of the bed, you must return him to the center of the bed. Dependent supine to side lying. First off, you must introduce yourself to the patient. If there is an obstacle, you must get it. But you must ensure that your patient is properly informed on what you are going to do. Next, you must move the patient to the far edge of the bed. Always ask her about how she feels, if she's uncomfortable or comfortable with what you are doing. Then move to the other side of the bed. You must again instruct her on what you are going to do. Place the uppermost lower extremity on the lowermost lower extremity. Place the uppermost upper extremity on the chest and the lowermost extremity in abduction. On a count of 3, roll the patient towards you by pulling gently on the posterior scapula and posterior pelvis. Then you must position again your patient and ensure her safety. 3-person prayer. First of all, introduce yourself and your partners to your patient. Then you must position him. Get the obstacles present. At this point, you must secure the patient of your patient. Instruct your partners on what to do. At this point, the PT should rotate the patient so that patient is facing the PTs, resting on the PT's chest. On the command of the person in head, all the PTs will carry the patient. Hands walk. The PT will start on the same foot, walking in line abreast. Log rolling. Introduce your partners to the patient, then inform the patient what you will do. Afterwards, you must instruct your partners on what you are going to do as well. Move the patient to the end of the bed. After that, you will move to the other side of the bed. Ensure that your patient is safe. Instruct your partners on what you will do. You should also ensure that your patient is properly positioned before the transfer. A good grip on the glove will be better to ensure a safe transfer. Then, on a count of 3, you must pull simultaneously. Afterwards, you must position the patient, ensuring that she is safe.
These transfers vary from patient to patient, and not all transfers are applicable to patients. Okay? You must remember that you must change the position of your daughter when in bed every 2 hours to prevent causes such as pressure ulcers. Also, it will be hard, ma'am, but I will teach you how to safely and properly transfer your daughter. Okay? Okay, Miss Jera, we have ended our session now, but before we'll go, we'll get your final vital signs in order to ensure your safety. Okay?
Dad, can you transfer me to the other chair?
Okay.
That is wrong. You are not using a gate belt.
It's okay. I can just grab her by her clothes.
No, I will call her PT to ask him. Hello, can I ask? My husband is going to transfer Jaira without a gate belt. Is it okay?
No, ma'am. To ensure a safe transfer, you must use a gate belt. It will be used as a holding spot for the patient for guarding.
But we have no gate belt.
It's okay, ma'am. You can just get a piece of cloth, strong and long enough to be placed on your daughter's waist.
Thank you, Bon. We must find a cloth that is strong and long enough.
I believe that love at first sight is real, a natural feeling you get when you first lay eyes on that one special person, more special than anybody you've ever met. This person is who your heart just immediately falls in love with and decides that it wants to spend eternity with them. I believe in love at first sight because I've experienced it before. The feeling it gives you is like no other feeling you've ever felt or ever experienced before in your life. Now, I can really see the love they both see in each other. I am happy for them both. You think my PT and I developed some sort of romance? Get real. You're watching too much drama.